What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to College Football Talk with Peter Burtnett. The Week 5 action absolutely lived up to the hype. But before I get into it, if you're going to enjoy this video, please feel free to leave a like, consider subscribing to the channel, and turn on those post notifications so you're always up to date whenever I upload. Number 7, Miami, who's down a spot to number 8, was really, I think, bailed out. And I think Virginia Tech was arguably robbed in the game Friday night. There was a crazy final few plays, kind of a final drive, some really good plays by Cam Ward, who had exactly 400 total yards and 5 touchdowns, 4 passing and 1 rushing. He did also throw an interception, but played really well. Then it came down ultimately to an insane final play. Kyron Jones threw a Hail Mary from the Miami 30. It was originally caught by Felton. It was a great play by the Hokies receiver, and it was initially ruled as a catch on the field. It took a moment, kind of a little bit of chaos on the field in this play. Debatedly, the play before kind of looked a little bit like a PI. That wouldn't have affected too much, though. It would have moved it to the 15, which arguably there's not as much space to work with. I mean, when Miami is playing a 3-deep defense or maybe a dime package, they're going to have all the DBs in there down in the end zone anyways. But back to the call, because that was the important thing here. It initially looked like Felton made the catch, but the ruling was, which was very hotly contested and debated that night, over the weekend, and probably will still be maybe throughout the entire race, especially if Miami comes down to being a game game separation of making the ACC championship game or making the college football playoff. It'll come back to this point right here. It was overturned. The explanation for it was that it was touched by a Miami defender who was out of bounds. I think that sort of ruling, I imagine, I'm not 100% sure, but I am 99% sure that is accurate according to the rule. I think the question is, though, it's kind of an iffy rule. The receiver makes a phenomenal play, and because they were down just 38-34, this would have been the game-winning touchdown. It's not like this sends the game to overtime or a play like the next one I'm going to talk about here in terms of refs kind of making maybe the wrong call late in the game. This one would have given Virginia Tech the win. It would have boosted the Hokies' chances. They have 2 losses. One of those is out of in non-conference play to Vanderbilt. So they, with a win here, would have very much still been in ACC contention, especially beating the team that going into this week was the top dog in the ACC. It changes a lot of things for the Hokies. It keeps, playoff chances alive for Miami and keeps them somewhat as the favorite in the ACC. I think Clemson is making a case that they're right there with them. I think even Louisville, even in that loss, proves that they're kind of in the discussion. Maybe even Boston College, they're 4-1. They scraped by Western Kentucky with a 21-20 win. They were without Thomas Castellanos, though, so that probably wasn't evidence of their best football. But ACC race is wide open here, kind of similarly to the Big 12. I think it's opening up. A team like a favorite like Florida State is out of the picture, so now other teams are kind of fighting for that opportunity to get there. And even SMU getting their first conference win as well is big. But like I was talking about, in controversial rulings, shifting gears over to the Big 10 now, number 12 Michigan, I think also was bailed out by the refs against Minnesota. A late onside kick in a 27-24 game was recovered by the Golden Gophers, but it was ruled offside. However, I do want to put a little disclaimer out on here. It's debatable whether the ball was touched before it's even recovered anyways, so maybe it doesn't matter. It'd be illegal touching, so that's, I forget, illegal touching if it's a re-kick or if Michigan gets the ball. Either way, would have been chopped off anyways. Michigan recovers the second onside kick. However, Fox Rules analyst Mike Pereira said he didn't think that the Minnesota player was offside. So Big Ten is also, according to CBS, I believe, reviewing this play. Not like they can really change anything in retrospect. But it would have set the Golden Gophers up with a chance, needing only a field goal with, I think, something like a minute left in this game. Kind of a bailout. Again, they might not have scored. Minnesota might not have scored, so it might not have even mattered. But they should at least have been given the opportunity. I think Michigan gets away with something with a win here. For the Wolverines, though, issues continue to persist at quarterback. Alex Orji in this game had an interception and a fumble. It was recovered, but overall, the offensive issues continue for the Wolverines. Khalil Mullings did a good job running the ball, but something that Joel Klatt mentioned in his weekly rundown of the games is the Wolverines weren't able to really string drives together like in the game against USC. They pop off the big runs, which is enough. They've proven that can be enough, but maybe not the same level of what they used to be, just driving down the field again and again. That's all for this episode of College Football Talk. I'm your host, Peter Burtnett, signing out. Peace.